Morning all, it is camp day. Happy camp day, the Tim Hortons. So I'm on my way to Lethbridge this morning. So this whole video is about, getting ready and packing and organizing and all that kind of prep stuff that goes into prepping for a big road trip like the one we are going to be taking. We're very excited about. So step one is make sure your vehicle is good to go. So I'm going into Lethbridge so I can run a few errands, and then also while I'm there I'm going to be getting the vehicle taken care of. So kind of tune up and check over and all that stuff. That's super important. You do not want to get stranded somewhere. I mean, still, like, random things happen. You just kind of want to mitigate that possibility as much as possible. So that is step one on the getting stuff organized and ready to go for a big road trip. And little piece of paper saying all done, all paid for, vehicle is as good to go as it's gonna be before, as far as all the mechanical stuff goes. So step one on the prepping for a road trip complete. Big check mark on that one. As you can see, we've got cracked windshield here. So day two of getting the vehicle ready to go on our road trip, getting that fixed. Yay, new windshield. All right, it's another thing off the to-do list. Hi, so we are just a couple days from our trip, and I had crossed off another thing on the to-do list. So very important to me. Probably not on like everyone's necessity list. Probably not as important as like, getting the vehicle ready and stuff like that. But before we go on a big trip, I like to take myself for a mani-pedi. I don't go all the time, but it is, like a little fun, relaxing thing, especially if you're running around doing errands and stuff like that. And then, you have nice nails for your whole trip. So definitely on my to-do list. And I haven't had my nails or anything done like that in, well, before COVID. I think before our summer 2019 trip. So this was definitely circled on the calendar. Okay, so another getting ready to go thing. I am taking some time today to clean out the vehicle. So we had the checkup done, we got the windshield replaced, and now I'm going to do a deep clean of the vehicle. And I'm not going to show you the whole thing because you know how to deep clean a vehicle. But for a big road trip, that's when I want to actually do the detailing, actually do, armor all everything inside and out. In fact, I even emptied out the glove compartment, emptied up the console seat. Look at that mess over there. Oof. Right? And which is good because it's nice to go through and clean it out every once in a while anyway. We're pretty good about only keeping like necessity backup stuff in there, but this is a great place for, you want things easy to access. So for example, cutlery. This is just reusable plastic cutlery. Just in case you're having takeout or something like that, or especially now with some restaurants being closed still because of COVID considerations, it's just a really good thing to have in the back inside your vehicle, just as backup. And reusable is nice because, of course, environmental concerns and everything. So this middle console here is where we're going to be putting all of that kind of stuff, tissues, cutlery, extra masks, all that kind of stuff, a sunglass cleaner, that probably our first aid kit and things like that will go in there. Entertainment, I'm cleaning out this area right in between here. Yes, we actually still have a CD player in this vehicle, so CDs will go there, but also charging cords, things like that. And then the glove compartment is for all the necessities. So staying organized that way is a really good idea. Another idea is I actually do have a physical map. We use our phones pretty much for everything, but just in case. Plus, there's something kind of fun and vintage about that. So we have these little side pockets here, and that's where those things go. So this is the before the mess, and then I'll show you the after once it's all kind of cleaned out. But it's a good excuse to take everything apart and do a really solid deep clean. You're going to be living in your vehicle during a road trip. You want to be packing accordingly, but you also want to have it prepped and ready to go. That's right, we always pack a corkscrew with us. Plus this one actually has like a scissors option on it too, but yes, it's good to have a can opener, corkscrew area, you know, impromptu picnics and whatnot. And this one's just a scissors one there too. So with our packing, we'll make sure we have this guy along. A lot of hotel rooms don't have corkscrews either, so that's something to consider. Okay, and along that same vein, while we're throwing stuff in this little console here, and I say throwing like keeping it organized, right? Like we're not going crazy here. There's no sense cleaning it out if we're going to be throwing it in disarray afterwards. Extra charge cords if you have extra ones. We have sunglass cleaner and gum, very easy to get to here. It's kind of dark, sorry about that. A reusable bag, straws. I already pointed out the cutlery and the corkscrew, but we also throw in a pair of extra cheap sunglasses. So Brandon has good prescription sunglasses. But I like really cheap sunglasses as well. So just backup ones. Lots and lots of masks. Any like personal items like feminine supplies, for example. But also, you know, this is a great place for your first aid kit because you want it within easy reach. Okay, so now I'm in the very back of our vehicle, and if you watch our camping video, you may recognize these. These are actually our camping mats that hang out when we're tenting, just to kind of like minimize the dirt and stuff in the tent. Well, the rest of the year, they usually are in the back of the vehicle. They're just laying on top of the regular back and everything like that. And especially with dogs and, I don't know, snowshoes or skis or something like that, it's nice to have, we have these anyway, may as well use them. This might seem a little ridiculous. We keep this, it's a little ice brush. We have a bigger one, of course, during the winter. Might seem a little ridiculous to put this in the vehicle, but it has snowed and frosted and things like that in the middle of summer before. So even though we probably almost guaranteed will not use it, we have these little storage containers back here and a longer one on this side. Anyway, and I keep that tossed in there. And also just a fold up umbrella. We're not really umbrella-y people, but you know, every once in a while. So if needed, it's in there. And then just, I think from like the dollar store. Yeah, it says $1.25 there. So probably it's a children's rain poncho, but just if you were like, I don't know. I don't remember why we got it, but clearly never opened it. I don't remember getting it. So that's going to go in there too. Some squished folded up camping paper towels. And then a tire gauge. So those we just kind of keep back here all the time. All right, and this is an important one. So mine's from Canadian Tire, very patriotic, and it's quite old. But it is an auto safety kit. This one specifically also has winter items, which of course we hopefully don't need here where our trip is in August, but it has a lot of different items. So this is kind of a roadside safety kit, and it's just, you know, a really good idea to have something like this in your vehicle. We actually keep it in here basically at all times. So I'm just gonna, you can see the image there a little bit of what would be some things to include. Even though there are some first aid items in here, I have a small one, but a nice travel first aid kit as well that comes along. So this stays in the vehicle pretty much all the time, and definitely on like a long road trip, it's a good idea. One of those things you can see I've never used and hopefully will never have to use, but I'd rather... It's thundering and lightning right now, as you can hear from outside. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. So this is another good item. And I was talking before about just these little carpets. These are just like rummage garage sale Salvation Army, I think. I think this might be a hand-me-down right here, but they're, you know, you don't need to spend a bunch of money. And what is extra nice about this one is there's actually Velcro. So it's not going anywhere. If there was a bit of a fender bender or, heaven forbid, a full-out accident, it's pretty, if you had to slam on the brakes or something like that, it's not sliding around or becoming a projectile or anything like that. Just in the corners, again, things that we won't be, still need to clean this one up, but things that we don't need access to but would be handy to have along. So this is another place where you could put, say, your tire gauge or something like that. We actually are going to keep use for storage for things like extra bags, stuff I don't need within arm's reach, and stuff that won't be going in and out of hotel rooms with us all the time, but definitely useful to have. Okay, so also in the back of the vehicle, I'm kind of putting it here with the like emergency section. You have a bin, and if you didn't have these areas on the side, you could definitely, in fact, those items might go in here. Haven't decided for sure yet, but this bin is a good like road, it should be called the stuff I hope I don't need, but it's probably good to have a long section. This might work well under a seat or something like that too, but basically it's just a plastic bin, and I have like with having a lid on it so you can put stuff on top of it if you need to. And inside, this is just like a grocery bag. Always good to have one of those along. This is basically my one that stays in the vehicle all the time. You really hope that if you make a roadside stop, they don't not have toilet paper, but I mean, like, you know, if you don't have it, that's what's going to happen. Clean up for any vehicle spills, just in case. Basically, I had some wipes left over from when I was doing the big clean of the vehicle, so may as well use them or have them along. This is just another little travel first aid. So I mentioned having something like this in the inside middle console. I have like some band-aids and stuff like that, but this is more like, I don't know, you can see what's all included in here. Different types of bandages and things like that. So more first aid is better than not enough first aid. So this would be like a second one. I also have here a little fix it on the road windshield repair kit. Again, unopened. We just got a brand new windshield. It would really suck to get a like rock or something like that. So I don't know if it works very well, but I figure it's better to, I don't know, better prepared than not, I guess. And just a little flashlight because safety. Oh, and also a carabiner. Now what's cool, and I think I'm going to set it up that way, is I have another one of these hooked off of the headrest. I don't know if you can see it. There. Yeah, and then you can hang bags and stuff there. So I might use this one as well, but in case I wanted to have it along. This would also be a good place to put like your umbrellas, your rain jackets, that kind of thing too. So a good idea, hands-free phone charger. So this one is mostly for me because my phone charger isn't great and my phone doesn't hold battery very well. But Brandon can of course use it too. Most hotels are not, you know, tons of USB plugins or anything. So this is probably a great travel option. Okay, so I got this specifically in black so it would not stand out, and now of course it's hard to show you. But essentially, excellent thing to have before you head out is a solid way to have a place for garbage. So this one is just one, a vehicle specific one I got on Amazon, has some bags and stuff in there. And what I liked about this one is it has a smaller hole so it's not gonna like spill everywhere. And there's actually a strap here to keep it attached to the console. And it's not just a bag, right? Like it's sturdier than that, but at the end then of every night, you can just gather up the garbage, take it in, toss it, set up a new one, and you're good to go. Keeping it as clean as possible. So I have this just set up in the back seat. And yet one more thing off the to-do list, washing the car. You could do this in an automated one, in a wand washing one. You could do the whole bikini wash. I'm definitely not doing that. But I am washing it at home. So another nice thing, it's not going to stay clean long, but it's nice to start that way. Are you a list maker? I'm such a list maker. I have here two actually. One is like the number of bags, and then this one, well, I have done on bigger trips or when I'm flying, if for an event or something like that, if I have specific things that I need to bring, I'll actually include lists of what goes in each bag. That was particularly helpful when we were getting married in the Dominican. This one though, I'm just going to do like a list of my specific stuff, and I also kind of keep in my notes section on my phone as I think of things, and so I'll be kind of like transferring that over to the full list of my stuff, and then this will help me think of the other things as well. Not the most exciting prep, but laundry. First thing we do before we pack the clothing stuff. All right, and here's a bit of reality. Started out very organized, and towards the end, throwing stuff in bags, but luckily I had piles and everything, so not quite as organized as I like, but partway there. And we're headed off. Okay, and here's the update of what the vehicle kind of looks like while we're on the road. So we are not quite halfway through the full road trip. And I thought I'd give you a walkthrough on like what is working, what ended up being packed, how it ended up looking. There was of course always frantic throwing stuff in, as there tends to be. So I'm just gonna walk you through kind of everything here, and then I'll give you an idea. So let's start with the driver's side, because it's pretty empty. All right, here, so Brandon's basically the driver. I might drive partway on the way home, but he's kind of the driver, I'm kind of the navigator. In the console, you saw the console before, access to different things. We do keep a charging cord in there, straws, hand sanitizer, glass cleaner, gum, that kind of stuff. This is just a guy we won at Whoop Up Days a couple years ago. But sunglasses, masks, and some CDs. We have some books on tape that we've rented from the library though, so we've just been listening to that. And yeah, so this is really straightforward. This you could use for navigational purposes. We're mostly just using it for charging, and I can look stuff up on it. So that's why it's facing me. Okay. Second seat. I'll do this all at one time. This we have a snack bag. We have cotton candy. We were at the amusement park day before yesterday. So I have some leftover cotton candy, bags of chips. Not necessarily the healthiest stuff. There's some popcorn from a local movie theater back home. But you know, it's road tripping, we're eating junk food. It's our treat. I have a light blanket here. I have not needed it at all. It has been hot. The only thing we use it for is mostly to cover stuff up that we're leaving in the vehicle, either for privacy or safety, or to keep it in shade. This is a latched on garbage with bag in there. It's another one we haven't really used. I still recommend having one. We just really haven't had a lot of stuff that is besides like drink containers. We actually keep a separate bag. It's a little bag I made there, with gym stuff in it. So when we're at a hotel that has, or a place, accommodations that have gym facilities, we can just bring in this bag. Otherwise it just stays in the vehicle. So these two things stay in the vehicle primarily. There have been a couple times where we come out and grab the snack bag, but we'll see. And yes, and this is just easy access for covering stuff up. So that's basically this side. I took this out of the big cooler, but we have a big cooler that sits on the seat here, so I can reach behind and grab it if need be. We've frozen some plastic bottles of water that act as ice, and then we also, pro tip, we had some ice, like hard ice kind of tray things. Ice packs, that's the word I'm going for. Ice packs, and definitely left them in a freezer in Penticton, which was not useful at all, and it was totally my fault. I did not check the freezer, just the fridge. But anyway, so make sure you do that. Those were super handy, and I'm really annoyed at myself. But frozen ice water is good. You can, as it melts, you drink it, you refill it, freeze it again. So that's really handy. We also have a good water bottle that we kind of use while driving. And then this one I just had out because this is our, like, we're heading to the beach kind of thing. Something easy that we can just throw stuff in. We actually end up using the cooler much more than I thought we would. I thought it would kind of just be like a handy thing, and I was even thinking about bringing a smaller one. It's fairly full most of the time. We have some Danishes in there right now, but water, and we've been stopping at a lot of breweries, so we like to pick up a couple local ones to enjoy later as that goes on. I'll show you the bottom stuff when I come around. Okay, so you saw this plastic bag before. This is still stuff that we don't want to access, but it's there if we need it. I also added a couple rain jackets to it. This is another one that stays in the vehicle, and this is just handy stuff for, like, hey, we pulled over and we went swimming in the lake, which is why we have our outdoors blanket that folds up really handy right there. This is like beach section kind of, but more like during the road trip itself. So we have our we have our towels here, and actually right underneath of them we have some of our books. We have several books packed. Our other two that we're currently reading are in here, but just as we either finish or need to replace, our other books are in here. Yes, we read a fair bit. We also have a couple Contigos and Yeti mugs and things like that in there, which are great for beaches as well. Or if we know we're going to be using them in a hot springs, then I'll just toss them into one of the bags when we go into the hotel or the accommodation. We know we're stopping at a beach later today. Brandon just wanted a sleeveless shirt. That's what that's doing here, as well as my sun hat. Now, this stays in the vehicle. This bag here is basically where our dirty clothes is now going. So it started out holding the mugs separately, and then kind of we replace as we go. By the end, we'll probably upgrade as the snacks dwindle. We'll probably switch out to that as laundry and switch the snacks to the little one. My suitcase, Brandon's suitcase, and behind his suitcase, we have another bag that stays in the vehicle, and that is extra shoes, or different types of shoes, and extra hats. So my ball cap's in there. Brandon has a backup ball cap in there. We have like hiking sandals and extra things like that. Again, we know we're going to the beach today, so Brandon's flip-flops are out. I'm wearing flip-flops, but running shoes, and basically water shoes, any extra shoes go in there. And like I said, since we're going to the beach today, this stays up front. It's my Mickey beach and pool bag. I've been taking it a lot. We were at a water park yesterday. Definitely was useful there. Okay, and then coming around, the stuff behind my seat, the passenger seat, I know it looks kind of messy, but it's actually just 3 bags. Basically, this is like the fun section, so and the tech section. So this stuff always goes in with us at the end of the night, because obviously you don't want to leave electronics or anything expensive in your vehicle. We have my camera bag, well, our camera bag with our DSLR, and also a lot of cords are in there. We kind of try and keep them all together. This one is like the extra fun type thing. So the Nuimos are in there for traveling. They usually come out, but like for the driving. But we just are packing up for the to start our next leg of our road trip. So they're in here for just now. So we put them in the vehicle. But they have some clothes. We've got like my straightener. But we have our like our tripods and things like that. As well as sometimes the GoPro will just stick in there, very quick for easy access to grab. And Brandon's drone, which is a new addition he got right before the trip, like literally 2 days before. And I just have a little Instax right there. So this is all stuff that we want easy access to during the trip. But also we can cover up if we are leaving the vehicle for any length of time, but also easy to pull back out at the end of the day. And last section, really straightforward. We have some maps in here and my Loungefly, and this is basically just my section, and that's it. In here we have some more audio stuff, as well as all of our glasses and sunglasses. Well, Brandon's sunglasses, mine are cheapies and just get tossed in bags. All right. And that's basically it. It has worked really well for us. It's pretty organized. Probably could be more organized, but not bad. So we hope this video helped. So I hope this video kind of helped give you some ideas. There we go, the vehicle. Helped give you some ideas for packing and organizing and things like that on a long road trip. So this one is, I think 16 days, something like that. So hope that gives you, and we're doing a whole lot of different types of stuff, but we're pretty organized. So, and it's working really well for us so far. So I really hope this gives you some ideas. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, all that fun YouTube stuff, and stay tuned. All the road trip stuff is coming, okay? There are tons of videos coming, so you don't want to miss out on any of these adventures. Okay, I have another tip that isn't about packing.
Pro tip.
Pro tip. So it's not about packing, and it's not about organization and stuff like that, but it's probably the most important tip that you can think of, and that is to bring along someone with you who is good at either driving or navigating. Brandon's good at driving and also probably navigating, but that isn't his job. But also is like has a good sense of humor and is patient and stuff like that.
You do need patience for a road trip, especially when you're navigating in towns or in cities and stuff. So
yeah, lots of like.
Or waiting for a ferry for 7 hours, 5.5 hours, whatever it was. I don't know.
It was time ceased to have meaning, and not in the good way.
Patience and a good partner is good. So
yes, so yay. And the reason I thought about bringing that up now is I was just thinking about how nice it was we decided to stop at one more brewery just as our road trip here is closing. And we couldn't really figure out what we wanted, so we got one pint and one pint and flight to share.
Yeah.
And just the fact, like, yeah, we can, like, we're easy going and we can share and we can figure it out. So thank you for having a good sense of humor and good patience. Most important pro tip.